Okay, somebody. I thought it was okay. I am going to go to my. Okay, that's who I want to invite. Free for all. Come on, get on. Oh, get on. Hey!
Hey, buddy boy. Hey, listen, I was gonna tell you, right? I'm in a clan with a bunch of guys, but these guys are you gotta fit the age, which you're 50. You can fit the age, and if you want to join us, you're welcome. Well, actually, I'm gonna ask them first if I can invite somebody to the clan, and if they say yeah, then you can join our clan.
Okay. Okay. I mean, if not, that's okay. If not, that's okay. We have our remaining days to play.
Oh yeah, that's the truth. Oh yeah, no, we play at night. You know what I mean? These guys are like,
Oh, you guys are.
work, some are.
Yeah, you guys are nice. See, I do best in the mornings, and I call it sundowners after 3. I kind of or feels like I am a newbie. I don't play. But
Hey,
I mean,
look, are you doing something?
I'm just gonna play a few games. My mom's getting ready. We're gonna go to our phones to get them hooked up, and then we're gonna go to Sam's Club. So I'll probably be on later on this afternoon. What time is it where you live?
Where I'm at now, the time is it's going to be 10 o'clock in about 4 more minutes.
Oh, it's gonna be 8 o'clock. Oh my gosh, you're 2 hours in my future.
Are you oh my God.
I'm 2 hours in your past. This is cool. No.
Oh, is it nice where you live at? Is it like, what is it, country? Or?
It's very southwestern, very mild weather. Like we didn't have any snow. It's very mild. We do get wind. It's some areas is country, but it's southwestern. Like like Santa Fe. There's a lot of Stecco homes. Stecco is like yeah. So there's a lot of history. I mean, New Mexico is the one biggest state to visit because there's El Capitan, where Smokey Bear was born and is buried. There's El Capitan, and there's Lincoln, where Billy the Kid. There is ruins. There's Carlsbad Caverns, Roswell, and I mean, and there's so much there. And then, like on the Four Corners, you have everything. You could, go to the Nevada to Taos, or is that what it's called? Oh yeah, and you got Ruidoso in New Mexico. You got Ruidoso, and the highest peak is Taos.
Wow.
There's just so much that goes on, and New Mexico is the most used out of movies, like I don't know if you ever watched Stranger Things, but Stranger Things 4, mainly everything was filmed in New Mexico. Um, there was a show in the 80s about Billy the Kid, with that guy with the white hair and everything. Um, that is based in New Mexico. I don't know if it was filmed in New Mexico. Now, there is a show called Roswell, and the only part, there's only a part that was filmed in Roswell, and it was this little diner, and that's it. I mean, other than that, it was filmed somewhere else. A lot of people think that everything was, no. I mean, we do have a lot of people that film in New Mexico, but like what's that called? I Love Lucy. Ethel. Yeah, Ethel was born in Albuquerque. Albuquerque is the biggest city and the third dangerous place to live in. The second largest city is Las Cruces, which is the third safest place to live in. And it's the most Las Cruces and El Paso, which is 45 minutes apart, is the most fast-growing monopolist cities growing. The only reason why I know so much because I used to work at the visitor center, so and it was so funny to hear people says, where's Portals, I go, and I'm thinking Portals, I go, you mean Portales? And he goes, yeah. I mean, a lot of people couldn't pronounce that. A lot of people could not pronounce Redoso. It always came out like, I had to think like Portals, what's Portals? And then I would I go, do you mean Portales? Portals.
Oh, wow. So what do you do for fun?
Well, I like gaming. I like the outdoors. I just like I'm more of a homebody. I don't do well with a big crowd, but I like the outdoors. Like especially here where I'm at. I'm a desert rat. I mean, I was born in Arizona, lived in New Mexico, lived in California. A lot of people don't connect that California is a desert because there's a lot of man-made stuff. But it is a desert. I do better. I tried living on the east side, and my lungs couldn't take it. I have bad asthma, so people that has asthma, dry climates helps a lot. And let's see. Like in California, I remember my girls. They were raised in San Diego. And they never saw the stars. And once we moved and they saw the stars, goes, are those stars? I go, yeah, that's what the sky looks like. Why couldn't we see it? And said, I go, because there's smog and there's a lot of lights. And I remember when we were in San Diego, my girls go, God, it's hot. I go, you don't know what hot is, baby. And then when we were driving to New Mexico, we stopped in Yuma, Arizona, and their faces were like, oh, I go, see, this is hot. But what I like...
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
1 second. Give me 1 second. Hello. Dime. ¿En mi casa? No tengo ahora. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Like deserts, like in New Mexico, it's a very dry environment, like dry, cold, dry, hot. Whereas, like in California or on the West Coast, West Coast and East Coast. They have a lot of humidity. It takes longer to stay warm because of the moisture seeps. No, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how much layer you put on, you get cold because of the moisture. Whereas in desert, minus California because they have the beach, the moisture from the beach. But like Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, the cold, you could just wear one jacket and you're warm because it's so dry. I mean, granted, you need a lot of lotion. You need a lot of lotion, a lot of lip gear because it's dry.
Is it like Arizona?
Yeah, and a lot of Arizona is a lot prettier. It has like red dirt, whereas
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay, New Mexico is very beautiful, except once you hit um, Roswell. It starts in Roswell to the east of New Mexico. It's ugly, ugly,
Oh,
ugly.
wow.
The northern and south part of New Mexico is beautiful. Like Las Cruces, it's really nice. The soil is different from any other place I lived in. Like there's sand. There's a lot of sand. So I go, Mom, it's like a beach without the water. There's palm trees and everything. I go, oh, there's palm trees. And the first time I
Oh,
go, it's like
wow.
California except without the water. But, I mean, that's now and then we'll go on reservations because my dad's white and my mom's Cherokee and Choctaw. So, I mean, granted, the Cherokee and Choctaw is in Oklahoma, but they have sistering reservations. Like I can't go to the Aztec reservation, but I could go to the Mescalero reservations. Actually, Ruidoso is nothing but a reservation, but their housing area. But and then we have the Navajos because Navajo is one of the biggest nations, and the
Right.
only natives that were very lucky was Hopi because they were dead center in the Navajo, and nobody
Mm.
wanted that land, so they didn't have to change their ceremonies, their housing, or anything. But Navajos covers Arizona, not Arizona. Yeah, Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada. I mean, it's a big old circle, that the
Mm.
Navajos, um, so New Mexico is basically a lot of stucco homes. Like if you lived in Santa Fe, which is a pretty small city. It's like 45 minutes away from Albuquerque. It's the state capital. And if you wanted to live there, if you wanted to build a home there, you would have to build a stucco home. It has to be southwestern. You
Oh,
can't just,
wow.
yeah. So now Roswell, there's just a lot of mixture. Roswell's kind of like backwards. It's just icky. It's just
You
icky.
know what? I always wanted to like live places like that. Where there's just nothing but one house and dirt all around, sand, and nobody else. That's the type of life I would love to live, man.
Oh well, Vaughn and Dexter has only one stoplight, and Vaughn, I don't. There, the only stores is these two convenience stores. But if they want it, they would have to drive almost an hour to get to Roswell to, shop at Walmart or whatever.
Really? Oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah, there is small, like rinky-dink towns that you could be in the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't suggest Roswell or east of Roswell because the dirt. I mean, it's fine, brown, ugly dirt with cow manure smell. Uh, there is like off the paces like you could live in Ruidoso even though it's a reservation and have the trees and everything, but if you want to like live in
Mm.
the desert in New Mexico, let's say New Mexico, I would say in between, like either Las in between Las Cruces and maybe Ruidoso, because like Alamogordo is a good place. It's just, it has everything like Ross and Marshall's, but it's very, very small and remote. I mean, you could buy a house where there's no, no neighbors,
Oh
no
wow.
neighbors.
That's
Yeah, yeah. But and I mean, there's everything that you need in that small town. I don't understand why my other family members chose to live in Roswell when
right.
Alamogordo, even though Alamogordo is smaller, but it has a lot of stuff. And I think it's because of the military. That's where they tested the atomic bomb. You definitely don't want to drink the water here, the
Yeah,
tap
yeah,
water in New
yeah.
Mexico. You definitely don't want to touch that stuff. Because of the nuclear, it takes like thousands of years for the nuclear poisoning to leave the water system, and that's going to be way past our lifetimes, right? When did
Not.
they?
It's
Yeah,
funny because I was watching this program of Albuquerque, that town that you just said,
yeah,
Abodo, Wilton, and they showed this kid that I think it was a kid and a girl.
uh
They
huh.
killed this dude, a runaway. He was a runaway, and they killed him. This was a long
God.
time ago. I don't know
Well,
if
I
you
mean,
remember.
yeah. Well, Albuquerque, like I said, Albuquerque is the third most dangerous place to live in, and Roswell has more crime per capita.
Mm-mm.
And Las Cruces is the third safest place, which is really weird because Ohio, Idaho, and, places that are constantly freezing are the safest because
Right.
who's going to go out and do some stuff in like Idaho or something, Alaska, you know.
Wow.
Alaska only has 1 hour daylight. I mean, can you imagine? I would go
That's
nuts.
crazy.
Yeah, that's why
Always
there's a
in.
lot.
Oh no no no.
Yeah, I mean, granted, you see the northern lights, but it's 1 hour daylight, and it's like that would drive me freaking batty.
Of
And like,
course it will.
and like when it snows, you can't even see the sidewalk, so there's rope. Um, to tell you this is where the sidewalk is. It's like this is nuts. But
That is
the
crazy.
but the Northern Lights it is worth seeing the Northern Lights though. It is worth it. Although you could go to Canada and see the Northern Lights, but it's nothing like Alaska.
Mm. And
Yeah,
it's funny because you said you suffer from asthma.
yeah, yeah. Severe asthma, and see, I can't. I couldn't live. I mean, whenever I met my dad and my half siblings, they live in Kansas, and
Mm.
and I went in the summer and then left. I go, oh my god. And then I see these lightning stuff. I remember we were at like a festival or something, and it was kind of like dusk. And I see these like little flashing lights. I go, Cindy, what are those? And they said, lightning bugs. You don't have light? I go,
Lightning bugs.
no. And I go, do they bite? And they said, no. So I went over there and I caught one. I go, holy cool. I mean, this is, wow. I mean, there's
It
some
looked like
neat,
roaches.
yeah, well, like here, I mean, like different places. I remember going to Arkansas, and I only stepped foot, like maybe even 10 minutes just to see a waterfall, and I see these little like it looks like splinters, but they are like ticks. You have to pull them out, and so. Yeah, whenever, my friend who lives in Arkansas goes, yeah, you need hiking boots whenever you go out there. It's like, well, I didn't know. But I mean,
Oh,
because I
that's
did,
good.
yeah. But here we have brown recluse. That's a well-known spout. They're more poisonous than the black widow. I got bit like 3 times.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and the first time it was on my shin, and they put this big old holes because it could cut off a limb. Um, and if you don't cut off the limb, it could go to your heart and die. But
And, yeah.
and they put this freaking tube and it killed me. I was like, oh my God, because it was on the shin and they sucked it out. So the other 2 times that I got bit, I saw how they did it. I put peroxide, squeezed everything out, and I was just fine. It starts off like a little pimple, and then the next day it looks like a hole. It's like, and it gets bigger. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh no, not for me. But you know
Yeah.
what? I suffer from a COPD. I have a lot of oxygen tanks.
Oh,
I got the same thing.
I have to sleep with the oxygen because I have excellent lung, air, lung. I mean oxygen whenever I'm awake, but when I'm asleep, it's very dangerously low. So I do sleep with oxygen at night. I have my 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 aunt and my best friend died just this month, and they both had CPOD.
COPD. That's what I
Yeah,
got.
yeah. And my friend, she never smoked, but she was in England. But so their drywall still has asbestos. So that
Uh
could,
huh.
but my aunt, she was a smoker, and but I mean, so not everybody that has CPOD does not have to. It's not because of smoking. Like I was listening to a person. You have to smoke to have. No, you don't.